guys feel that? That is the feeling of being halfway through the fantasy regular season. Welcome to the Week 7 Commissioner's Address for Drunken Fumble. There continues to be an onslaught of injuries in the NFL, so much so that I don't even want to do an injury segment anymore. It's just too fucking long. Like I said, welcome in Week 7. We are halfway through the regular season, and things are starting to take shape. There has been a ton of waiver activity, a ton of bids, lots of trades. I love to see it. The activity has been awesome. I want to roll right into a new segment called I'm Calling It. I'm calling it because you're dead. Your season is dead. Didn't go your way. You fucked up. And you've officially made donations to the winner's prize pool. Are you mathematically eliminated? No. But like I said, this segment is called I'm Calling It. There are two of you today. Nick, it has just not been your season. The number 1 overall pick, CMC. And Will, I don't know what happened to you, dude. You're in last place right now. You're both 3-11. You're both 4 wins out of a playoff spot, and you're both well over 100 points out of a playoff spot. So essentially 5 wins out. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to make it so you guys can kind of see this. Of course, Nick had McCaffrey, 1-1, followed by Kelsey, Olave, Jacobs, and Lawrence. Jacobs has been fine, I believe, but 4 out of those 5 picks have not been good. Will got Jamar Chase. Not a bad pick. He had that one big week. He's actually been a great pick, honestly. He might be the number 1 wide receiver if we were to do a redraft right now. I mean, you traded him. Dak was disappointing. Etienne, Pittman. Oh, man, that Anthony Richardson. But anyway, I digress. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Let's look at the matchups. Brown, Neighbors, Cooksmell taking on Chief of Stafford. This is a good matchup. This is actually one of the heads-up matchups that I was referring to, in that Rob and I played each other in Week 7, and we will play each other again in Week 8. A little bit of a doubleheader action. I will admit there has been a bit of trash talk behind the scenes between Rob and I. It's been a little bit fun. So I've actually not been hating the the doubleheader here. He's got who's he got coming back? Nakua coming back for this week that he didn't have last week. He made a trade for Devontae Smith. I put in a new kicker, so big changes. Big changes. I was able to come away with the win, 144 to 133. That said, I got to play this tune for Rob, because he was able to come away with the median win to move him to 7-7. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but 2 weeks ago Rob was 3 wins out of a playoff spot. Today, he's on the inside looking out. He is in 6th position. He did enough this week, despite the loss, to make the first change in the top 6 in well, at least 3 weeks. So well done, Rob. You are the Superman of the week. Despite the loss, you did get the median victory. Bijan did come to life for you. Aaron Jones was good for you. Jared Goff is... he's got to be one of the best NFL quarterbacks right now. He might not be the best for fantasy, but he's been consistent. The Minnesota defense, again, I was hesitant to start them against Detroit, and they came up with 23 points. Oh, they've been good. Love to see it. Russell Wilson was good coming in off the bench. I actually traded him. And Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns on the day. Moving on to Big Fucking Anime TDs versus Phil McCracken. Justin, what the fuck? I looked back, and between weeks 2 and 6, you were between 124 and 137. There's maybe a bit of range on there because my memory's all, high. But then in week 1, you had the league high score, and now in week 7, you have the league high score again. I don't know what to make of your team. You are now 4-10, 193 points. 126 from Justin, not going to be enough. A lot of his team underperforming. Amon-Ra was all right. Kittle has been good this year. Of course, he's a must start. And Drake May, a surprising add-on and start from Jordan, but not enough for Lamar with 5 touchdowns. Joe Mixon with 2 touchdowns of his own. Kyron with another couple touchdowns. I don't think Kyron's been kept out of the end zone this season. Tutty all the way through. He has been so good. Pickens had a big day with Russell Wilson there, and Brian Thomas looks to be the newest rookie sensation to come out of the woodworks. A lot of rookies this year have been turning up. Justin will come away with 2 wins there. Jordan will have to settle for 0-2. My DK Hurts cut my balls. Taking on Make America Drake Allen. The most wordy fucking team names versus each other, and I aced them. Just want to point that out. Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, the consensus 1 and maybe 2 going into the draft, going head-to-head here. Also, both Detroit running backs going head-to-head against each other. Some intriguing matchups between Gus Bus and Ejeb. Ejeb coming away with the win to move up to 12-2, staying, of course, in that first overall position with the median and heads-up win. Will, you'll have to settle for 0-2, the story of your season. High Lifer taking on Nick. Nick. Oh, man, that's some disappointing performances. Not just this week, but from your whole team all season long. Kelsey, he's had a couple big weeks since Rice has been out, but they haven't been huge. Deontay's been big, but what a shitty week from him. Dubs was a good pickup from you. I think you actually drafted him in like the 13th round. So, well, he's been good for 2 weeks. So, call that a win on the season, Nick. You had 1 good player for 2 weeks in a row. Jacob's been all right. Not enough, though. E.T. Phone Mahomes with 136. Jaden Daniels, of course, with a disappointing performance as he came out of the game with an injured rib. Of course, Spencer will be keeping a close eye on whether or not Daniels will be starting this week. It would be a good game as he will be going up against the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. Marvin Harrison has had some up and down weeks, but he's been fairly disappointing. Mike Evans, oh my God, that Tampa Bay game was just catastrophic. Mike Evans goes down. He's out, I expect, for at least 3 weeks. He hasn't been put on IR, so I assume they don't expect him to miss 4. However, it's an injury that you generally miss at least 3. So we'll see what happens to Mike Evans. And then, of course, Chris Godwin is out for the season. His ankle decided that the way it was facing wasn't good enough. and chose another direction. Anyway, I digress. Spencer coming away with the win, 136 to 106. Spencer at 10-4. Cut my staff, it hurts JK against Big DK Energy. 90 points. Oh, Mickey, it's been tough. You've been able to slug a couple of wins together. Yeah, you were able to get Jamar Chase, and he had an okay week. Hopefully Laporta turns it around for you for the next couple of games with Jamison Williams on a 2-game suspension. Devontae Smith, that's a disappointing game. Andy Dalton, what a disappointing game. That's a tough week. You know, when Stafford puts up less than 5 and Dalton puts up 2. Dalton against Washington, that could have been a shootout. Yeah, that's a tough one. Laporta has been disappointing. Casey, 130 points in the win. Stroud, disappointing with just over 5 points. Kareem Hunt being a hot pickup for him. And Njoku, 14 targets and a touchdown. I expect with Amari Cooper out of the picture that Njoku is going to be the top target there. Chubb back as well. Casey owning all parts of that Cleveland offense. Hopefully that works out for him and turns his season up a little bit, as he is going to need it, as he and Mickey are both at 4-10. Shane, you had to know it was coming. Two weeks ago, Shane was in the top 6 with a 3-game lead to 7th position. And his main competitor is Rob, as Rob 2 weeks ago was in 7th position. And since then, Rob has put up 298.66 points. Nearly 300 points for Rob in the last 2 weeks. Want to know what Shane's is? 208. 208. How? I know you lost Nico, but damn, he didn't give you 50 points a game. 84 points for Shane against Wade's 141. Shane needed a heads-up win or a median win in the last 2 weeks. One of those. But no, he is 0-4 in the last 2 weeks, averaging 104 points a week. Oh man, look at all that red. There's a lot of red, Shane. You need to talk to your fucking team and figure it out. Figure it out. Wade improving to 10-4. Breece Hall, 26 points. He looks like the guy again for New York. So watch out for that guy, because he's on Justin Jefferson's team and Derrick Henry's team. So Wade's looking a little scurry. He did have Derrick Henry this week, who he already had the heads-up matchup wrapped up, you know, just by playing like 2 or 3 players, so that was easy. But Derrick Henry did explode and ensure that Wade got the second victory this week. Let's take a quick look at the standings. We have Make America Drake Allen at number 1 with 12-2. Myself at 11-3, followed by the 10-4s, Barry McCockiner and E.T. Phone Mahomes. Followed by Phil McCracken at 9-5. And then the tight battle for 6th position, Rob eking away with the points for tiebreaker right now by about 44 points. And Greasy Boners will be just outside of the playoffs, also at 7-7. followed by the 3, 4, and 10ers, who I'm not going to eliminate yet. But whatever you got going on this week, drop it. Because the most important thing in your world right now is that you go 2-0 this week if you want to fucking... If you don't go 2-0 this week as a 4 and 10 guy, and somebody else does, you might be in that the little memoir kickoff there next week. Anyway, good luck this week. May your players stay healthy and unproductive. And Rob, you can go fuck yourself.